We are rolling. All right, so let's start with the basics.
Okay.
Who are you?
I'm Ian Schreier.
All right, and where are you?
I am at the Manifold Annex mix room.
And what are you doing here?
I am mixing the Carl Palmer performance that we had.
Wait, what? You're mixing who?
Yeah, we had Carl Palmer and his trio doing a legacy tour, basically celebrating the life of Steve Emerson, who recently passed away.
So this must be pretty amazing for you because you also moonlight as a drummer.
I do occasionally. I have been known to drum.
You've got a great drum set here at the studio.
Yes.
When people, I think Carl Palmer said nice things about your
He
drum
did.
set.
He did. I got a big thumbs up from him.
And in fact, you're going to be doing a drum seminar in January.
I am.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's going to be a challenge that involves not focusing on the gear at all, but only on technique and readily available tools.
Cool. So here comes the drummer's drummer into the studio, Carl Palmer, unbelievable.
Right.
And you get a split from the live console.
That's correct.
You get a bunch of microphones that he brought with him.
Right.
And you stick them all into your console. And
Yes.
what have you got?
Well, we've got some pretty good stuff. We added some room mics.
Hello, good to see you all. I could have done this in my living room, actually.
Cheeky.
Let me introduce the band. On bass guitar, Simon Fitzpatrick. On lead guitar, Paul Viadatovich. Here's one that you might know. It's a blast from the past. A well-known piece by ELP. It's called Welcome Back, My Friends, to the Show That Never Ends.
But you've got some great sounds coming out of the bass. You've got some great original sounds. That is to say, the guitar player is pretty phenomenal.
Yes.
The bass player is pretty phenomenal. Carl Palmer's not bad.
Yeah. Not bad for a guy.
So you've got this great opportunity to make, in a sense, an interpretation of this performance.
Well, it is. It's really all about the performance. It's about capturing the excitement of what happened that night at that moment, and preserving it.
Yeah.
You know.
And actually, one thing that we just talked about, I know that you're very early in the mix. You've got it laid out on the console. You've got some basic stuff done, but you haven't done any fades yet.
Yeah, I haven't done any automation. Right now, I've sort of got the elements of the mix sort of broken down into 4 different groups. I've got one group that is, just the drums. Which, so that's sort of the drum mix without any effects or anything like that. And then I have the bass on his own submix.
Yep.
And the guitar.
Yep.
And also the room, mics, and the effects.
Yep.
And besides all that, I also have the drums, the bass, the guitar, and the effects on remote faders. So I can bring up and down the entire drum kit with one fader and retain the same relative balance. So, bass, guitar. It's a very one of the great features of this console.
Yeah.
Is that it's so flexible that you can set it up kind of any way you want to. And I have the mix coming back through on another layer that's also feeding back into Pro Tools.
Uh-huh.
So I get sort of the best of both worlds. It stays in the digital domain unless I use an inserted analog device.
Yeah.
Which I often do, but not doing this time.
Yeah. Now, one of the funny things about my childhood, I discovered ELP, I think, when I was about 12 years old. I was way too young to go to a rock concert. My parents never would have taken me. But ELP was one of the first bands that I heard where I could not visualize them as performers.
Yeah.
I just heard them as music. They created images in my mind.
Yeah.
It was just this whole psychedelic thing. And I was only 12, but it just blew my mind.
That's a really good way of putting it, because the first time I heard it was that record.
Yeah.
It seemed implausible to me that was three people.
Right. And so now what's interesting, we were talking about this just before shooting the video, and that is that because we did shoot video,
Mm-hmm.
you're actually mixing to the video, which is kind of
correct.
a really interesting thing, because if we sort of dial the clock back to 1971 or whatever,
Right.
there was no video they were mixing to, but they were mixing to the full creative universe.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
And if you didn't have the video, you might be doing one thing or another with this to try and replicate that.
Well, there are specific cues when you have an image that change your perspective a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
that you might not ordinarily do without the image.
Right.
Not only that, but we're trying to be faithful to their original sound.
Yeah.
We're not trying to create a sound as much as we are trying to capture the performance and be true to the original band's sound, feel, all of that
So
stuff.
on the one hand, we've got that faithfulness to the original. On the other hand, we've also got the faithfulness to this is what actually happened.
This is what actually happened.
And you know what? If something great happened visually that we captured on camera, we want to make the sound highlight that.
Exactly. The eyes lead the ears.
Yeah.
The ears are actually more important.
Yeah.
But if you see it and you don't hear it the way you expect to hear it, you subconsciously it's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why I mix differently when I know that there's video. I really need to have the video to look at.
Yeah.
They're not big differences, but without it, it just feels wrong.
Right. Well, the good news is that we're going to be putting this video together and getting approval and then posting it up on YouTube, and you'll be able to see what happened that night and how great it can sound once we've given a little love. Because actually, that was one of the last things that Carl Palmer said to us as he was finishing up saying hello to everybody.
Yes, that's right.
He was saying, just give it a little love.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing tonight.
Yeah.
So, thanks a lot.
You're very welcome.
We'll see you. We'll see you on the internet.
Next
All right.
time.
All right.
Thank you.